Nick, you must fulfill the prophecy. It's Tuesday.
YouTubers, welcome once again to another installment of Tuesdays with Nick. Yes, remember, this is a thing that is happening every week once again. Sorry for that huge gap in the middle. Like, I don't know why I didn't apologize about it in the previous video, but I had school, basically. This year, I have subjects that are more interesting, so I'm more likely to actually do more Tuesday videos next year. I think we should just get down to the bit that everyone watches the series for. Requestions! Watching me do weird stuff. Usually that doesn't happen though. It's usually just questions. Who is your favourite Beatle? Can you do an impression of him? My favourite Beatle would have to be John Lennon. Mainly just because he's the leader of the group. And he is quite a weird fellow. And no, I cannot do an impression of him. I'm breaking the rules and I have a request and a question. Request. Is it possible you can also review TV shows, preferably animated cartoons? That's not... You realize that that's also a question, right? And, yeah, I could do that, but I'm not going to do it now. Question. Well, when was the last time you got a bloody haircut? Why does everyone keep asking me that? I have long hair. Deal with it. Do you have a favorite video game? If so, what is it? Right at this very moment, my favorite video game is currently South Park: The Stick of Truth. Honestly, it's more of like a fans-only thing. Like, if you're not a fan of South Park, you're not really gonna like this game a lot because, you know, obviously there's the swearing and the offensive jokes. But it's hilarious. It's exactly like how I wanted it to, how I would have liked to play a South Park video game. And it's, as an RPG, it's also really good. So it's good as both a South Park tie-in and a legitimate video game. Because the fighting mechanics are actually really good. Like, the enemies level up along with you, so no matter how high your level is, you still have challenging fights. And also, if a fight gets too hard, you can always just cheat and use a summon. It's definitely a labor of love because it was made by the actual guys who make the show. So that's why it took such a long time for the game to be made. And so, yeah. And the weapons and all the characters, everything is just perfect. It's a perfect video game. I love it. Steam sale is in 2 days. Hype! What games are you getting this holiday season? Well, assuming I can actually afford them, these ones. That was the loop. I was actually wondering what is the greatest number of Nicks that have been in one room simultaneously? If that's a hypothetical question, well, it depends on the size of the room. If it's probably a room about this big, with all the stuff that's in the room, probably about 10 something, I don't know. I'm quite thin. Let me see. Maybe about like 17 of me could fit in this room. Hypothetically. Now it's time for the other segment in the show. Yay! Hello and welcome to another Nick Reviews, where I review a movie or TV show or video game or something that I have found interesting. I will be reviewing The Descent. The Descent is a horror movie made in 2005, directed and written by Neil Marshall. This film is about a group of 6 women who go on a cave exploring adventure that goes wrong when the only way out that they know of is sealed shut. And the worst bit is they're not alone. The way this movie is filmed is incredible. It gives you an actual sense of claustrophobia and the fact that you actually believe that they're never going to get out. And because you don't actually see the monsters very clearly, just adds to the horror. And you don't know exactly what they are, who they are, or where they're from. And so the tension in this film is incredibly high. And the violence is really good because it's shown in detail, but not enough to actually, induce vomiting. Except for this one scene where someone breaks their leg. But I'm not going to say anything more about that. Most horror films these days are actually pretty bad. So it's really refreshing to see a horror movie that's actually good. The acting is good, the dialogue is well written. These women actually are people for once. I mean, thank you. The main character is really the only one that actually has kind of a story to tell. All the other characters are just introduced to you via a a meeting in a cabin. But they all seem to be good friends, which is even more of a reason why it's terrifying when they get picked off one by one. I'm gonna give this film an 8 out of 10 because of the fact that it's legitimately a frightening film. The darkness, the claustrophobia it's so real that it just makes you completely unsettled. Now, back to the other place. Ooh. Lily, what are you doing in my chair? Say hello to the camera. Here, Lily, you can entertain the audience while I do something by myself. Okay? Back. Hey, Lily. Did you keep them entertained? That's this week's Tuesday video done. Leave a question in the comment section below if you want a question answered or a request done. Like the video if you liked it, favorite it if you liked it more than that, and subscribe for more stuff. And I will see you next installation of whatever it is that I decide to make next.